So far today, I put money into my Smarty Pig funds as follows. I added money to my stock market fund, unexpectedly large credit card bill buffer fund, honeymoon trip fund, robot building fund, PC upgrade fund, vehicle repair fund, storage room fund, storage room remodel fund, first home fund, first home furnishings and appliances fund, wife's 3 more classes fund, random helping wife fund, support wife during school fund, Xmas slash B-Day gift giving fund, wife's eye surgery fund, baby clothes, car seat, etc. fund, dental visit fund, and we're still going. Nope, she's not pregnant. But that's why saving is done in advance. If you guys wait for an emergency to suddenly need the money, then you're going to have to max out a credit card. If you start saving for something years in advance, then you don't have to max out a credit card, and you don't become a debtor, aka a slave to the man. People are angry at credit card companies for their debt. How stupid is that? You're in debt because you took out loans from someone. Pay back your debt. I don't know why everybody thinks blowing up the credit card bureaus so nobody has debt is justice. They loaned you money. Pay them back. Be responsible. Why blow them up? That's the theme of the TV show I'm watching, Mr. Robot. They want to blow up the credit card companies so nobody has debt. I think that's very stupid. Imagine if you were the one that loaned out billions of dollars to people from your own pocket, and now somebody wants to blow up your data center so that they don't have to, so nobody has to pay you back? How is that fair? You loaned all of them money. It's a fair transaction. They should be thanking you for loaning them money. Yep, I was actually going to mention that it's also the theme of Fight Club, but I didn't get around to saying that, but I was thinking that when I listed Mr. Robot as the show I'm watching that deals with the theme of blowing up credit card bureaus. But yeah, Fight Club's the other one. And yeah, I don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it. Because once you get a little bit of money, and I'm by no means wealthy, but I have some savings, and I'm not in debt. You start looking at ways to make some passive income, and one of those ways would be to loan people money at interest. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great way to make money. And if I were to do that, and somebody was trying to blow up the system that recorded our arrangement and showed how much they owe me, I would not appreciate that at all. And I wouldn't see that that's right to do either. I'd see that as just unfair, unjust, big time. Well, you have to save if you're planning anything substantial. Like, let's say you want to have a child. You have to have money for a stroller and baby food and diapers and stuff. I'm probably going to do cloth diapers, though, to save money. I think it's stupid to buy disposable diapers. Like, how lazy can you be? Disposable diapers, isn't it like people spend like 2 or 3 thousand a year on that if they go that route? That's retarded. They could literally buy like 2 towels, sew them into the shape of diapers, pull out an actual needle and thread, and just toss them in the wash machine after they're soiled, and make about 6 of them so you have a rotation. Always have one fresh, cleaned. Just throw them in with the rest of the laundry, and bing, bang, boom. You just saved yourself possibly 2,000 or more dollars per year. I just can't imagine the stupidity and laziness of people to buy cloth disposable diapers. Not cloth, to buy cotton disposable diapers or whatever. Plastic? Okay. Yeah, I would happily throw the baby's diaper in with the rest of my clothes. Who cares? If you believe that a wash machine actually works, all of the soiled feces, whatever, is going to drain out of that machine. Now, at the very worst, I might run that load twice if I'm really skeptical about it. Um, I'll just throw it in with a bunch of clothes. It'll mix in with all the stuff. It'll get drained out. And it does the whole rinse cycle and everything multiple times. I don't know. I think maybe I would run it twice if the baby took a large turd. I definitely wouldn't bother running it twice if I were to rinse out in the laundry tub the diaper prior to throwing it in the washing machine. But it all comes down to trusting your washing machine to do its job, which is to wash and kill germs and make things truly clean. But yeah, bend over. I would recommend starting to save though. I would recommend it because someday you might want to hire a lawyer to get a patent on a cool idea you have and spend 15,000 on that. Someday so I have a legal expense fund for that in case if that ever happened to me. Someday you might want to go on a vacation. You should have a vacation fund. Someday you might want a major elective surgery. Perhaps you smash your face really bad in a car accident and your nose is all crooked and you want to get plastic surgery to correct your nose. You should have a major elective surgery fund that's not covered by your insurance. You know, these types of things that life can throw at you, you gotta be prepared. Otherwise, well, an elective surgery is elective. It wouldn't be covered by insurance. Buy another washer for the baby. I mean, I could have the robot do the laundry for the baby actually. Although I don't think the robot will be. Well, he might be done in time. I don't know. That's a tough call. Will I have a baby before the robot's done? I probably will. That's a very tough call. I mean, I think the robot will be functioning by the time I have the baby, but I don't know if he'll be that useful yet. Oh, you're talking about losing money that you saved due to inflation? Don't worry about that. That's just people's way of justifying not saving and being irresponsible financially. People don't know how to save, they don't have the self-control, and so they say, well, it would have been lost due to inflation anyways. You know, you out-earn inflation. If your savings was in a vacuum, sure, but you're going to continue adding to it. You can add to it faster than inflation will take away from it. But yeah, if you want inflation-proof long-term savings, then that's what the stock market's for. Yeah, there are many ways to retain value. I mean, you can buy expensive works of art. You can buy gold, diamonds. Take your pick. You don't have to save in a checking account that your state's going to randomly tax if you live in a country that does that, which I think that sounds criminal to me, but I guess inflation is the hidden tax that would hit you no matter what country you're in. But yeah, that's why you buy collectible cars or whatever you want as a savings vehicle, but it's still the same principle. You're still saving. Okay. So then I also have my investments fund. Example, car or house flipping, friend's business idea, etc. You know, you never know when somebody in your life is going to come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm starting this business and I need 10,000. I'll make you a board member. You'll get 15% equity." And you might believe in the business. You never know. I mean, you could be like a shark on Shark Tank. I like to have that possibility. But I kind of wouldn't really trust anybody but myself with starting a business that I'm going to put money to. But my investments fund could be in my own idea though too, so that's always on the table. Like I said, car and house flipping, that would be on me. And that, like, you never know if someday somebody's going to tell you, like, hey, there's this house, it just went up for foreclosure, it is a steal, and they can show me what similar houses are going for or whatever, and it could be a quick flip. You never know when some kind of opportunity in life's going to come where it's like a no-brainer, huge moneymaker. If only you had $20,000 you could just access. And if you don't have savings, you can't do that. So I think it's important to have like a opportunity fund. Or even you could use it in the event of a market crash. That's the best time to buy stocks, is right after a major crash. And so if you happen to have $20,000 or $30,000 tucked away and we hit a major recession, a worldwide major economic meltdown, you take that $20,000 or $30,000 out of savings and you buy as much stock as you can. And in about 10 years, when the market recovers fully, that $30,000 will be worth, I don't know, $100,000. That's a nice return. So it's nice to have that. Anybody could have that. It's just a fun waiting for that moment. An excellent opportunity could be around any corner. You want to have money ready for that. I wouldn't keep money in a mattress, no. What are some of the goal amounts? I can say what the fund is. It's just a goal. Doesn't mean I've reached it. Let's see. Stock market fund. Goal $1,000. Because I figured like once it hits 1,000, I'll empty out that fund and actually buy stocks with it. Debt snowball fund. 60,000. I just threw a number out there for that. I mean, I end up actually cutting out checks for the debts once it reached like 150, so I just threw in any number. Car wreck reimburse my wife fund because she paid for the damages and I promised to contribute a portion myself. 220. Wedding profit fund 5,000. I pocketed the wedding profits, so I have to pay into that to reimburse it. So that's like the money we made due to all the wedding gift money and gift cards and stuff. Although that our contributions to the wedding are part of that though, so we didn't actually profit that. It's just like once we put in all our money and all the guest money, what was the amount that went over the budget in terms of having more than the budget required. So it's not really profit because we put in more money than that. Unexpectedly large credit card bill buffer, $650 goal. So that way, ideally, I'd want to have $650 in that fund so that if my credit card, for whatever reason, was really high that month because I had to buy a bunch of stuff that normally I wouldn't have to buy, I got it covered. Like when I need to restock on these big rolls of tape, which cost $150 each, and I buy a couple of rolls like I did last month, then I'd empty out my unexpectedly large credit card bill buffer fund to cover that excess. Product manufacturing fund 7,000. Kayaking trip fund 850. Reimburse dad's loan fund 10,000. Advertising fund 500. Taxes fund 1,500. Wife's date activities fund 250. Car insurance fund 1,500. Honeymoon trip fund 2,000. Robot building fund 3,000. Botting computer upgrade fund 10,000. Vehicle repair fund 6,500. Storage room fund 1,500. First home fund 250,000. First home furnishings and appliances fund 60,000. Wife's 3 more classes fund 900. Random helping wife fund 250. Support wife during school fund 10,000. Holiday and gift giving fund 200. Wife's full-time care for senility and handicap possibility fund 250,000. Wife's eye surgery fund 5,000. Baby clothes, crib, stroller, car seat, etc. fund 4,500. Biannual health insurance payment fund 1,400. Children's college fund 250,000. Dental visit fund 1,000. Doctor visit fund 1,200. Investments fund 250,000. Job loss emergency fund 15,000. Kids private high school fund 60,000. LaserJet ink cartridges fund 450. Legal expense fund 100,000. Major elective surgery fund 150,000. Medical emergency fund 12,000. Nanny housekeeping landscaping services fund 75,000. Hunting rifle fund 775. Retirement fund 750,000. Helping others in a tight spot fund 150,000. Vacation fund 550. So total, I haven't added it up. It'd probably be like 2 to 3 million. If but I'm not saying I've saved 3 million. I still live with my dad. But you can see that as my income scales, I won't be like, oh, I'm just going to buy myself a Hummer. Oh, I'm going to buy myself a sport car. No, like I have specific savings goals that can be funneled into, with a huge percentage of it, probably 30% of the cash I make will go directly into the stock market. But then these funds, so there's going to be a split. These funds are savings and then stock market, and they're both important. If the stock market crashed, I'll still have my savings. And then you could say, well, what if all banks shut down and so you lose your savings? Well, then I've got my stock market. If the stock market crashes and the banks shut down, well, everybody's screwed at that point. Everybody. So we're all in the same boat. And then it all comes down to your wealth is directly based on your skills and your ability to make money. And I'll be at the top of that because I'll have a robot army. So even if we're in an apocalyptic situation where all financial systems are ruined, the guy with the robot army is going to be doing pretty well for himself because everybody's going to be just trying to scavenge and grow their own food and live off the land and just survive somehow. And a robot army would go a long way in helping toward that. So I'd still be fine. I don't know. I just put a job loss fund because, well, I guess like, let's say I got kicked off of eBay, or PayPal just said, you know what, you don't get to do business with us anymore. You scammed too many people. This battery you sold this guy 6 years ago, did you know that it blew up, burned down his house and his entire apartment building, killing thousands of people? We finally were able to trace it back to you. Apparently you tampered with that battery. And so no, you can't sell using eBay or PayPal anymore. Well, then yeah, I would want a nice job loss emergency fund, because then I would need to survive figuring out an alternative market and payment plan for that portion of my income. What do you mean explains a lot? That's really bad. He asked why I'd have a job loss emergency fund, and I explained a scenario where that would be important. That scenario did not occur. It was just a hypothetical. The sad face story, like I said, was just made up. That didn't happen. I was saying that that would be a situation where I would want to have an emergency fund to handle that were it to happen. It did not happen. But that's what I mean. You plan for the worst. Anything that could happen bad, you have a contingency plan for that. It's the same thing with software development. You have to have a plan for any bug that could happen, anything that could go wrong. You have to have your plan for it. If you're prepared for everything, then when bad things inevitably happen, you don't get screwed over, or you get screwed over much less. It's much more manageable. See, what Mailbox fails to acknowledge is that to tamper with a battery means you're opening the battery, possibly contaminating its chemical makeup. All I did was solder some wires onto the outside of it. That wouldn't affect the performance of the battery or risk any chemical explosion or any damage in any way. That was external wiring that was outside of the physical battery, so there was nothing dangerous about that.